Welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be exploring an affirmation that I think you'll find quite empowering.
Right.
It is, I am the creator of my reality, and today I choose joy. So much packed into that
Yeah,
statement.
absolutely.
We're going to unpack what it means and how it can maybe even lead to some positive changes in your life. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Let's break down, starting with the first part. I am the creator of my reality. Now that sounds kind of mystical, right?
Yeah.
What does that actually mean, like practically speaking?
Well, it's about recognizing that you actually have the power to change things. You have personal agency.
Right, true.
You're not just, along for the ride.
Right.
Your choices, your beliefs, even your mindset,
Uh,
all of those things contribute to shaping your experiences.
so instead of feeling like things just happen to us,
Yeah.
we can maybe start to see ourselves as participants in actually creating the life we want.
Exactly. Yeah, and just imagine you have a really challenging work project. If you go into it with just dread and a belief that you're going to fail,
Uh,
chances are you're going to experience more stress and struggle. But what if you changed how you thought about it?
okay.
What if you instead focused on the opportunity for growth and learning?
Yeah.
That same project could be a totally different experience.
Interesting. So our thoughts and beliefs really do influence how we approach things
Yeah.
and then ultimately the outcome as well.
It's a subtle shift,
Yeah.
but it can have a really profound impact, recognizing that you have the power to choose
Right.
your attitude,
Yeah.
your actions, and those choices, they ripple out and affect your reality.
It all comes back to you.
Yeah.
That brings us to the second part of the affirmation. Today, I choose joy. I'm curious why the emphasis on today.
Well, it really highlights the importance of choosing joy in the present moment
Okay.
and recognizing that joy, it's not something that you achieve once and for all.
Hmm.
It's a conscious decision that we can make each and every day, regardless of the challenges or setbacks that we might be facing.
So even if yesterday was a complete disaster,
Yeah.
you have a new opportunity to choose a more positive perspective today.
Precisely. And this part of the affirmation is about recognizing that our emotions aren't fixed.
Right.
They're fluid. We can't always control what happens to us externally,
Of course.
but we can often influence how we respond internally.
Absolutely. Now, choosing joy doesn't mean denying or suppressing negative emotions, does it?
Right.
Life is full of curveballs, and sometimes we feel sadness and anger and frustration.
You're absolutely right. And it's important to acknowledge all of our emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to force ourselves to just feel joy all the time, that can actually backfire.
Hmm.
It's more about building a toolkit of strategies for managing our emotional state
Okay.
and, shifting our focus towards a more positive outlook when it's possible.
So it's like acknowledging that, yeah, it's raining, but choosing to focus on the rainbow that might appear afterward.
That's a great analogy. Choosing joy doesn't mean we ignore the hard things in life. It's about building a mindset of resilience. We acknowledge the challenges and we allow ourselves to feel all of the emotions.
Mm-hmm.
But then we choose to look for the good, the opportunity, or the lesson in the experience.
I'm starting to see how these two parts of the affirmation actually are connected,
Yeah.
creating our reality and choosing joy.
Mm-hmm.
They work together to create a more positive and empowered approach to life.
Absolutely. When we recognize that we have that agency to shape our reality and we choose joy as our guiding principle,
Right.
we start to create a positive feedback loop.
Okay.
Our choices lead to more positive experiences, and that reinforces our belief in our ability to create a life we love.
So it's not just about wishful thinking.
No,
It's about taking conscious action and cultivating a mindset that supports our goals.
exactly. And the more we practice these concepts, the more ingrained they become in our lives.
Yeah.
It's like developing a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Well, how do we actually apply these ideas in our everyday lives?
Mhm.
What are some tangible steps we can take to actually start creating that positive feedback loop?
Well, one powerful technique is mindfulness.
Okay.
And that involves paying attention to our thoughts and feelings, but without judgment.
Yeah.
And that allows us to become more aware of the choices we're making and how they're contributing to our experiences.
So instead of just letting our thoughts run on autopilot,
Mm-hmm.
we become more intentional about what we're choosing to focus on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, imagine you're stuck in traffic
Okay.
and you're starting to feel that frustration building.
Uh-huh.
With mindfulness, you can actually notice that frustration coming up and then consciously choose to shift your attention
To something else.
to something more positive, like listening to your favorite podcast or
Yeah.
maybe noticing the trees.
Right. It's not about pretending that traffic isn't there.
Right.
It's about choosing how you want to respond to it.
Exactly. And over time, this practice of mindful awareness helps us create a space between our thoughts and our reactions, and it gives us more control over how we experience the world around us.
So mindfulness sounds like it's a key tool for both creating our reality and choosing joy.
It really is, and it's a skill that can be developed with practice. There
Mhm.
are so many resources out there, meditation apps, guided meditations,
Mm-hmm.
even just taking a few minutes each day to focus on your breath.
Right.
All of that can help cultivate mindfulness.
What about setting intentions?
Yeah,
I've heard that can be a powerful way to shape our day.
it really can be. Yeah, starting your day with a clear intention, like choosing to approach challenges with a positive attitude
Okay.
or focusing on being more present with loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that can have a big impact on your actions and experiences throughout the whole day.
So it's like setting a compass for your day, keeping you aligned with your values and goals.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And even if things don't go exactly as planned,
Right.
having that intention in place can really help you navigate challenges with more grace and focus.
Okay, so we've talked about mindfulness and setting intentions.
Mhm.
What are some other practical tools or techniques that people can use to maybe cultivate joy and create a more positive reality for themselves?
Well, gratitude is a powerful practice, and I think one that is sometimes overlooked.
Okay.
Taking the time each day to just reflect on the things you're grateful for, no matter how small they seem,
Mm-hmm.
can really shift your perspective and increase your feelings of happiness and contentment.
I think it's really easy to get caught up in what we lack or what's going wrong in our lives.
Absolutely.
Gratitude helps us to refocus on all the abundance that we already have.
Yes, and there's actually scientific evidence to support the benefits of gratitude.
Oh, really?
Studies have shown that practicing gratitude can actually improve your physical health,
Wow.
strengthen your relationships, and increase your resilience when facing stress.
So it's not just a feel-good practice.
No.
It actually has tangible benefits.
It really does, and it's something that anybody can do. You can keep a gratitude journal, you can make a mental list before bed, you can even share what you're grateful for with a friend or family member,
Right.
whatever works for you.
It sounds like a lot of these techniques really involve shifting our focus
Yeah.
from what's wrong to what's right, from what we lack to what we have.
That is a key component of creating a more positive reality.
Mm,
When we focus on the good, we attract more good.
okay.
When we focus on what we appreciate, we experience more appreciation.
Yeah.
It's a simple but powerful principle.
And what about those times when things are genuinely difficult
Mm-hmm.
and, it's hard to find the good?
Yeah.
How can we choose joy when we're facing real challenges and setbacks?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's important to acknowledge that there will be times when choosing joy just feels very difficult,
Huh?
even impossible, and that's okay.
Right.
It's not about denying the pain or pretending that everything is okay.
So what can we do in those moments?
One helpful approach is to focus on what you can control. You might not be able to change the situation itself,
Right.
but you always have the power to choose how you're going to respond to it.
That reminds me of the serenity prayer.
Yeah.
Accepting the things we cannot change, courage to change the things we can,
Right.
and the wisdom to know the difference.
That's a perfect example, and sometimes the most courageous act is simply choosing to take care of ourselves,
Okay.
to rest, to seek support from others, to engage in activities that bring us comfort and peace.
And by taking care of ourselves, we create a foundation from which we can eventually find that strength to move forward.
Exactly. Resilience isn't about being happy all the time.
Yeah.
It's about having the tools and the resources to navigate all of the inevitable ups and downs of life with grace and strength.
Mhm.
And sometimes that means acknowledging the pain, allowing ourselves to grieve or process those difficult emotions,
Right.
trusting that we have the inner strength to get through it.
So it's about recognizing that choosing joy is an ongoing practice, not a destination.
It's about being kind to ourselves and acknowledging our humanity and trusting that even in the midst of difficulty, there is always hope and the possibility for healing and growth.
That's beautifully said. And remember, you don't have to go through this alone.
Right.
There are so many resources available to support you on your journey. It's important to remember that everybody's journey is unique.
Right.
What works for one person might not work for another.
Uh-huh.
So it's important to experiment and find what resonates with you.
It's like building your own personalized toolkit
Yeah.
for creating a more joyful and fulfilling life. Just as a carpenter wouldn't use just one tool to build a house. We
Right.
need a variety of tools and techniques to kind of navigate the ups and downs and the complexities of life and cultivate that mindset of joy and resilience.
As we wrap up our deep dive into the affirmation, I am the creator of my reality, and today I choose joy.
Mm-hmm.
What is one final thought you would like to leave with our listener?
I would say embrace the power of this affirmation.
Okay.
Remember that you are not a passive bystander in your own life.
Right.
You have the ability to make choices, to shift your perspective, to cultivate joy even in the face of challenges.
It's really about recognizing that we have more agency than we realize,
Yes.
and that even small shifts in our thoughts, beliefs, and actions can create ripple effects that transform our lives.
Exactly. And as you kind of embark on this journey
Right.
of creating a more joyful reality, remember to be patient with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's a process, not a destination. There
Yes.
will be days where it feels easier than others. And that concludes our deep dive.
Correct.
We hope you found this exploration insightful and inspiring.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep choosing joy.